Hello and welcome to Walk the Talk. I am Shekhar Gupta, back at Kalakshetra in Chennai again after almost a decade. And I'll tell you what, last time I was here 2005, I had as my guest a great prodigy of music from the South. And today I have another one, almost exactly at the same age, TM Krishna. Welcome to Walk the Talk.
Thanks so much, Shekhar. It's a pleasure to be here.
You know, somebody becomes a superstar in classical music at the age of 38. Has to be a prodigy.
Oh yeah, I like the word prodigy. So I think we all fall into that category.
Prodigy.
Not Srinivas, but me at least.
Because, usual thing is that unless you are 65 years old, you've achieved nothing. You can't be taken seriously as a musician.
I think we are obsessed in this country about how grey we get or how bald we get.
Right.
And depending
I checked that box very soon, very early in my life, so don't worry.
I was not referring to you, I promise. So I guess you were a senior very early in your life.
Yes, and grey is getting there.
So yeah, it's really weird that we judge people and judge art, and especially in the world of art. I think classical art. There's this whole idea that they're connected with maturity and growing up. But I think that it's not got to do with the greys or the balding. It's got to do with how you grew up and how you internalize the art. So you've had the greatest musicians who are young. You have the worst musicians who are old. So both these things are as real as it gets. So.
The worst musicians grow so old and so popular, famous. It's because the fault of the audience.
True. But there's another flip angle to this. The moment somebody is above 75, 80, even if they are unknown or something, suddenly they become this pristine old treasure.
Right.
I know how they become pristine old treasure, I don't know. Suddenly we talk about old gold, old music. This is like pristine music of the 1920s and all that. Not that there aren't people like that, but this hype becomes a little bit of facade.
Can I speculate on why that happens?
Yeah, sure.
Because maybe our arts, particularly music, is not renewing sufficiently.
Well, you have a point. I mean, maybe, yeah. I think the problem is actually...
After Ravi Shankar, who for sitar?
Well, I would say the South Indian way far better off than the Hindustani case. But there is one narrative problem. The narrative problem is that we don't feel ourselves that music is of today's. When you ask classical Carnatic musicians of music today, they'll still talk about 1940, 1850 and all that. We have to have a current narrative of it. We have to be talking about it as being alive and healthy and something that we treasure, that we carry on. So this shall we use the word contemporary here, narrative has to be built.
In fact, when I was at your concert yesterday, the lady sitting next to me was very knowledgeable. And one thing she kept on telling me all the time, she was very helpful also.
I hope so.
She said, Krishna really innovates. And at a point, it seemed to me that she was complaining as if it innovate too much.
I would be surprised if she wasn't.
Well, I mean, this is Kalakshetra, the idea was to sort of innovate in art and, to cross new frontiers.
Yes,
but tell me something about your innovation. How do you innovate?
See, it's very interesting. The moment
you can tell me anything and get away with it.
Yeah, I know. I figured that out very fast.
I have zero idea.
No, I think my whole inquiry has been, we have a certain practice routine in Carnatic music. We have it in Hindustani also. And today our narrative of Carnatic music is based on that practice routine. What comes where, which is sung where. I found in my own way, my own discovery, that the so-called framework that we have, that seems to be our story and narrative for music, is in fact at times I feel counterproductive to the music itself. It doesn't allow us to go as deep into the forms, into the aesthetics, into the ragas, into the compositions as they deserve. So I am saying that the music exists and the presentation of the music must depend on the music. You don't say this is presentable, this is marketable, and say the music has to fit into that. I think last 80 years we have pretty much landed up doing that. And this is what people say. TM Krishna is questioning the format, broken the format. I'm saying it's not about the format.
But music, format or whatever, one thing about our format will never change, which is, this is a Ganesha temple. So you have to sing a little invocation to Ganesha before you go away.
Okay, I have to tell you before I sing it, this is probably the first time that I've actually sung a Ganesha song as a beginning for anything. Because but I will do it and I'll sing the most.
Because that was the format.
Yes.
And you must change it. Yeah.
So I'm not because of that. But it's just that I think that he can survive in the middle or the end. He doesn't have to be in the But let me just sing a line. A famous composition, everybody knows it. Vatapi Ganapatim Bhajeham Vatapi Ganapatim Bhajeham Vatapi Ganapatim Bhajeham Varanasyam Varapradam Shri Vatapi Ganapatim Bhajeham Varanasyam Varapradam Shri Vatapi Ganapatim Bhajeham.
See, I don't know any music, so I know the few rules I know in life.
Yes.
I made you sort of.
Yes, you actually made me conform, which is
very
very rare.
Very rare. Conform. So tell us about your breaking of the rules and innovation. And why do you do it?
Yes, exactly.
And why is it working? It's obviously working.
Well,
whatever conservatives may say.
Well, I think your impression is from yesterday's concert, but that's fine. No, but look.
My impression is from your stardom.
Okay, thanks. See, the whole point
in Chennai, where people know music,
the whole point that I'm making is that this is not just to create, we love this word innovation today. We love to say be different, do something. And I want to first say that this is not about that. This is not about creating some statement or just shaking things up. I really feel that the so-called presentation of the art today is actually antithesis of the art. It is antithesis of what the art represents and what it allows you. It allows you to explore it in such a wide range. But we have boxed this into this product, actually a marketable product. We say a concert should have variety. What do we mean by variety? This is not like a meal where you have many things that you snack on. This is not about that. And this is about an experience. It's about an art experience. And this is what you're trying to provide through certain art forms.
This is only khichdi where you put everything together.
Today we have made, I believe very strongly that we have made Carnatic music a mishmash of various things put together in one box, because it has a certain, we have created habituation with it. It's marketable. I know it's got to a point where, Shekhar, I will tell you, that I can choreograph a whole concert and make sure I get the applause exactly in the minutes that I want it. I can even design it for you. I know this sounds arrogant, but this is not about me. Any artist will do it.
So is there something that you can sing which is sung in Hindustani way as well as Carnatic way?
Okay, this is a little thing I tried. Right. See, this, I mean, as you play with language, so you will understand this. So every language has a certain sound aesthetic, and when you put it in tune, basically what happens, it creates a different kind of a sound. So how you pronounce a certain language is also got to do with the melody of that language. So at some point in time, people kept saying that you cannot, usually when you sing Hindi, for example, in the Carnatic, what we do is we sing it as a bhajan, the little last part of a concert. So I experimented with singing a Hindi bhajan.
Non-South walas there.
Exactly.
Right.
Perfect. It's exactly for you, actually. Right. We basically experimented. I thought of the idea of saying, why not I sing a Hindi lyric, but in a proper Carnatic classical raga and treat it seriously. Treat it as a serious composition. And that's how I sang. There's a famous song, Hey Govinda, Hey Gopala. It's usually sung in Rag Desh. The usual tune is, I've heard, and I knew it originally, Hey Govinda, Hey Gopal, Hey Govinda, Hey Gopal, Hey Govinda, Rakho Sharan, Ab to Jivan Hari. This is the usual. So I decided to sing it in a Carnatic raga called Kamboji. Hey Govind, Hey Gopal, Hey Govind, Hey Gopal, Hey Govind, Rakho Sharana, Ab to Jivan Hari. Hey Govind, Hey Gopal, Hey Govind, Rakho Sharan, Ab to Jivan Hari.
So give me an idea of how you innovate in the process of singing. How do you change sequences?
Okay, so like I said, one classic example I can give you is the concert today in Carnatic music is mainly sung with one form called the Kirtana. And there are about 8-10 different aesthetic forms, compositional forms. So I picked up one which is usually done as in the beginning of a concert. It's called a warm-up piece. It's called a Varnam. They use it for. And I've treated it as a serious piece.
Usually the Tanpura goes on for some time.
And then the Varnam.
Clearing of the throat starts.
After that, the Varnam is considered the warm-up.
Huh.
So I always tell people, if Varnam is a warm-up, do that at your home. Don't do it on stage. Why do you have to do this warm-up on stage? So I converted the Varnam, because I believe it's beautiful, into a serious piece. So I'll sing a Varnam for you. It's usually sung like this. Karunim pa idi manchitaru. Approximately this gate. It's like a warm-up.
Right.
So, and sometimes in 2 speeds. So I said, instead of that, if I treat it as a really serious composition, then what happens is I can pick up a line. Karunim pa idi manchitaru unamusa. Moment I do this, the possibilities expand. I take a line. Kripa Zudumi Yevela Kripa Zudumi Vela Kripa. Then you explore it. It is a beautiful creation. This is one of the ways I've said expand the horizon.